How's it going, Steve Heller here? Happy Christmas, everyone. We've reached that awkward time of the year in between Christmas and New Year. You don't know what day it is. You can't stop eating. You feel sorry for yourself. You drunk too much. I know. I'm there every single year. So early in the week, I asked you guys to post on Facebook the most mispronounced Cornish place names. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't know half of these myself. I've been saying Foey for a long time, and I used to say Launceston instead of Lanceston. So here we go. Rhiannon Smith says Carnkai is usually pronounced Carnkey. Lanceston. Now there's one that's mispronounced quite a lot. Launceston. That's what people usually call it. And I'll be honest with you, up until a few years ago, I thought it was called Launceston, but it's Lanceston. Right, babe, where are you going? Lanceston. Foy. Now that normally gets mispronounced as Foey, which I always thought was actually called Foey, but it's Foy. Now I heard Gordon Ramsay's moving down to Foy. I bet he pronounces it Foey, doesn't he? You can shout at him, "Hey, you knobend, it's Foy." Apparently, Doc Martin the other day, he said Wadebridge. Mousehole is a good one. Now, I DJ'd years ago, must have been 1996 at the Mousehole Carnival, at the Mousehole Social Club. I'm a superstar DJ, and I asked the crowd, is it Mousehole as it's spelt, or is it Mousehole? And they all shouted angrily, Mousehole! Chloe Jones says Porthleven is often pronounced Portleven. Barbara Hicks said she heard someone say Mevagissey once instead of Mevagissey. It's like when I'm DJing and someone comes up and says, can you play Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal? Doublebois? No, I don't even know if I said that right. Sam Pierce said some people call it Doublebois. Ryan Perrin says Polzeath in the summer. Some of the Emmets call it Polzeath. I don't know what Emmets are. Never heard that term before. And sat-navs are good. Instead of Liskeard, it says Liskeard. Mark Holden said he was camping down to Yiddy Woods once, and a holiday maker asked him where Portreath was. Yiddy Woods? That's a bloody dogging spot, innit? I'm not saying anything, mate. Someone asked my gran once where Illogan was, and she's like, never heard of it. And when they went off, realised it was Illogan. Illogan. You can see how people get them wrong. I mean, I probably get them wrong, and I've been down here all my life. Dawn Solomon says, brilliant comments, let's keep the Emmets confused. Thanks for your input there, Dawn. Mark Sedgwick says they say Cornwall wrong, it's Kerno. Christopher Haynes said in America we call Redruth Red Roof. People in Redruth just call it Druth. And people from outside Redruth sometimes call it a dump. Tony Rush says, mate of mine working on the railway heard the train will be stopping at Stigerman's. St. Germans. Stigerman's. I kind of like that. Stigerman's. Oh, I've never been to St. Germans. John Laurie says Callington instead of Callington. Kathy Mason, who I think is from up in Norfolk, says, I challenge people to try and pronounce Happisburg. Well, I tried it. Was it right or no? So Mabe down near Falmouth often gets pronounced Mabe. Call me maybe. The only reason why I knew about Mabe is they used to have the Mabe shindig. And they used to have a big sign. I never went and just saw the sign. And every time you hear someone Mabe, the Mabe shindig. Oh, I wonder if that was good. Pole Giga, but it's actually Pole Jigger. I don't know where that is. Is that in Cornwall? To be honest with you, I don't like to leave Camborne. Neil Hooper says St. Austell is pronounced St. Awful. Thanks, Neil. I usually say Skint Austell. Anything with a Sint in the front, I always say Skint, Skint Day, Skint Ives, Skint Austell. You get the idea. Elaine Walton says, brilliant, how do I pronounce them? Maybe I should have asked how you actually pronounce them. I don't know either. So we still don't know, do we? I don't know. I could be saying them all wrong for years. Some of the places I actually like come to good. Drim. You know, that Cornwall's got some amazing place names. Boxheater. Now, I got a theory about Boxheater. Boxheater is a triangular junction. And a box heater is actually an old, remember the old irons from back in the days before we had electric and before we had Tefal and all those big makes like George Foreman and all that. But before that, the irons used to be called box heaters because they were a triangular shape. Now, box heater is a triangular junction just off the A30. I think it might be on the A30. So there you go. Georgia Ann Tomset says Plint, which is just outside of Loo. Plint is this little village outside of Loo. Now, I only know it because there's got a little story. It's probably about 10 years ago. I went on a drinking binge for 2 weeks and mother was living up Plint in Loo. It was a holiday park, but they just rented it out to people like from Camborne and Redruth and all the people, I don't know how you would say, all the rough people, and you know, it was cheap accommodation. And mother moved up to Plint, contacted mother. I said, Mother, I've been drinking for 2 weeks. I need to chill out a bit. What can I do? She says, catch the train up to Loo, and I'm in Plint in this holiday park. I thought, lovely. Now, I look like a hobo because I've been drinking for 2 weeks solid. I ain't washed or nothing. True story. And I caught the train up and I jumped in the taxi and I was stinking of cider because I've been drinking cider. And I said to the taxi driver, oh, I can't believe how beautiful Lou is. And he said, I want the money up front before I take you to Plint. I thought, he's a bit rude, wasn't he? Oh, what's that all about? So I give him the money up front. And he's driving along. You always try and start a conversation with a taxi driver, don't you? You say, busy tonight, is it? Nothing. Nothing. And I thought, what's this guy's problem, man? You know? Got up. He dropped me up in Plint. Lovely little village. Walked up this lane past this spar shop. And I looked. Oh, my God. It was like bloody Beirut in there, you know? It was rough as hell. Then I realised why he didn't speak to me. It reminded me of the ghetto in Porthtown. There used to be the ghetto in Porthtown. You go up through these houses and it used to be like bloody Beirut in there as well. I spent a couple of days with mother up in Plint, sobered up, calmed back down, and bloody behaved myself, and the rest is history. Carol Powell says Hewaswater. She's heard it pronounced he was water. I reckon that's what it was. He was water. And maybe he's talking about his poo. Oh, I'm a bit poorly, got bad guts. What was it like? He was water. Sorry if you're eating. There's Dobwalls. Now, I used to call it dog balls. So that wraps it up. I hope that shed a little bit of light for how you pronounce some of the Cornish place names. I'm sure it didn't bloody help. It didn't help me. I'm still pronouncing them wrong now. So even if you're not from down here, don't worry. Even the locals get it wrong. I need to get out more. I need to get out of Camborne more, don't I? Right, let's do your shout-outs. Big shout-out to Deb's Code. She's lost her voice at the moment, so I hope you get better soon. Probably too much eggnog. Probably the eggnog, or the cider, or the pasties. Sheena Tupman says, big shout-out to her son Aaron and all the family in 4 Lanes. She misses you all. Big shout-out to one of my big followers, Steve Allen. Hope you had a great Christmas, Matt. Right on! Big shout-out to Christian Harris. Right on, Matt. Big shout out to Hal Balls. What's on? I ain't seen you around. Usually go, I haven't been running for a while and I normally see her out when I'm running. She beeps at me and all. Big shout out to Ruin James. Right on, Matt. Right on. Big shout out to George Bowles from your old man, John Bowles. He says you're some boy. He's some boy, he is. Oh my God. He could eat 4 pasties and then eat rice pudding right after he can. Oh my God. So we got to say a big happy birthday to my mate Hayley. It's her birthday on New Year's Eve. Happy bloody birthday! She loves a bit of Frosty Jacks. She does. Big shout out to Susan Burrows and Matt. Hope you're well. Big shout out to Matthew Cleve. He's just passed his test. He said he ain't crashed yet. Well done, mate. Big shout out to Richard Thompson. He says, what's on from the Floggers gang? I don't know what that means. Maybe it's the flogging page on one of the things on Facebook. Thanks for watching the Cornish News Update. I'd like to wish you all a happy new year. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back again soon with another video. And as we say in Cornwall, proper job, cheers and gone.